not this Monday, but
Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
all right, here we go. Hump day. Man, hump day, well, not the best day of the week. You know, we're kind of Wednesday. Friday's over yonder. We got some of the week under our belt, but it's hump day. There's a reason they call it hump day. Well, what better place to spend hump day than right here where I am at. Terry Norvelle coming to you live from Twin Peaks, our Wednesday home. Man, the place is starting to fill up. The happy hour crew is filling up the bar, and they'll start filling in all the tables. It's a fun happy hour. They actually do 2 happy hours. They have a late night happy hour for all you folks in the industry, or if you kind of get off a little bit later. Fun times to be had right here at Twin Peaks. I've had just about everything on the menu. Real food, cold beer, and beautiful girls. Okay, and great TVs. Okay, and the Olympics everywhere. Okay, what else do you want, guys? I hope if you're in the area, you come by and say hi. We're at the intersection of Kernan and Atlantic Boulevard. We'll catch up with Patrick Young in a little bit. Brent Beard making his way over today, as he does a lot of Wednesdays. We'll catch up with Brent Beard on a lot of topics. College football kicking off their training camps as well. And we will hear from Dr. Aaron Bates. It's Wednesday. That means our sports medicine discussion segment coming up, sponsored, of course, by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. A lot on the table. Let me get some stuff out. I do believe, and man, I'll tell you, now that this Olympics thing is on us all and 100% go, man, it hits you fast. I do believe women's soccer has completed their game. It looks like the USA, they've won another one. Man, they're good. I don't know a lot about soccer, but I watched the USA women the other day against Germany, and they kind of dismantled Germany. I thought Germany was pretty good. Looks like the U.S. Women's soccer team has won another match, 2-1 over Australia. So good news there. Another note I wanted to get out in basketball. Number one, the U.S. men are up 20 in the third period on South Sudan. So you kind of expected that. South Sudan in the exhibition game several days ago gave USA a pretty good run. And you thought, okay, it's South Sudan. Right now, those two teams are playing in a Olympic game, not a qualifier, not a warm-up game. And the United States is taking South Sudan really to the woodshed. About 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. The USA men, they lead South Sudan 57-39. 38. We'll track that, but it really looks like this thing is just a matter of what will the score be as U.S. men, a little bit of a scare. You kind of thought they would put it on South Sudan today. The 3-on-3, and I'm not really into this. The women are playing 3-on-3. The U.S. men have played 3-on-3 earlier today, and it looks like they got beat. Jimmer Fredette, for God's sakes, is one of the guys leading the U.S. 3-on-3. Do we need a 3-on-3 competition in the Olympics if we've got real basketball? I don't know. Looks like the U.S. dropped to that game, if you care. Jimmer Fredette, hadn't heard that name in a long time. Your numbers today, college football guys especially, your numbers to be aware of, 24, 31. 24 days until the official start of college football when the Florida State Seminoles and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets tee it up and kick it off in Dublin, Ireland. Don't ask me why Dublin, Ireland, but that's the first game. That is high noon, as a matter of fact. High noon on Saturday the 24th, okay? High noon. And then 1 week later, I call it the start. I don't play this week 0, week 1 stuff as we welcome Brent Beard. Brent will get settled in here and get his headset. Let's try this one. Let's try this one anyway and see if that is, say 1, 2.
1, 2.
Whoa,
1,
you
2.
sound good.
Happy Wednesday, young man.
Look at you rolling in here all
Good to see
dressed
you.
up. And the girls kind of, it was like Frankie Avalon or somebody. Frank Sinatra walked in.
Yeah,
The girls were
yeah.
swooning.
You
when
mean
you walked.
you mean an older guy is what you're trying to say,
Yeah,
right?
They said, look at that guy. He's got a big wallet. Look at there. Big wallet guy. Big
Hey,
wallet guy.
Listen, today, because the teams are on the field, Terry, shouldn't this be a state holiday or
It should
something
be.
like that?
Or it should be shot.
No.
We need a shot. Brent Beard, number one, let me let you catch your breath. Brent working a full-time job, and he makes his way over here a lot of times on Wednesday on location at Twin Peaks. We're here until 6 o'clock. NFL guys have been going at it now a good week.
Yes.
The storyline, and gosh darn, I hate to say this because it's going to spill over into college football. It does every year.
Mhm.
The storyline in the NFL with training camps is the injuries.
Yeah, you said this last week.
You cannot, every morning when I jump on to start prepping the show,
Another ACL?
you go to the NFL and
Man.
number one, you got 32 teams.
Yeah.
You've got 90 guys
Right.
times 32. That's a big number.
Yeah.
And Brent, I said all the time, the next 3 weeks are really the 3 weeks in college and pro
Mhm.
where you practice hard.
Absolutely.
You don't practice hard, but my God, Brent, I've got the top of my note sheet here in terms of the NFL. Is the NFL not far away from classroom training camp? I mean, you're losing so many.
Yeah, for virtual training camp.
Well,
We're kidding, but yes.
well, sort of.
yeah.
I'm not totally kidding.
Mhm.
You're losing so many guys every single year in training camp. You wonder.
Yeah.
I
really
would
do.
say I would get, and I hate to say this, double knock on wood. Our college guys are starting
Oh, yes.
this week.
Yes.
It happens in college as well.
Sure does.
You are guaranteed around the country, Brent Beard, with regard to the Power 5 schools. However many are there, I don't know, because however many total Power 5. The next 3 weeks when they all start practicing, you're pretty much guaranteed 75 ACLs.
Yeah.
ACL,
Yeah,
MCL,
yeah, right.
Achilles are going to go bad and
Sure.
ruin a season across the country. You hold your breath and hope it's not your favorite team getting hit, but it's just the way it is.
You wonder, one, how many of those injuries are non-contact,
A bunch
or they get caught in the
Yeah.
in the grass,
in the wash, a little bit.
or go for hole or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Even though we know these fields are supposedly immaculate. And listen, this may be a Dr. Bates question one day. Terry, I wonder, with all the off-season stuff that they do, or we don't see this, I guess, unless you do some
Yeah.
imaging.
Yeah.
But are some of these guys ACL? Terry, or they? Is it like a rubber band?
Yeah.
To where the next awkward moves gets them.
And we've kind of talked to Dr. Bates about that. it would be very awkward. It almost, I don't know if is against is it the Hippocratic oath that you
Yeah.
take? I don't know
Yeah.
if it's against that. And I may be getting too deep, but Patrick and I have kind of kicked around with Dr. Bates at times. What you're saying, would if you were hotshot 14-year-old athlete,
Yeah.
football player, going in and just exploring and saying, boy, he was just born with some thin ACL.
Yeah.
Or no, it looks like he's got strong MCL.
Right.
And or could you brace it pre-injury?
Sure.
Almost, because
Yeah.
the athletes are, and this is science fiction stuff maybe. The athletes are so big and so strong, and they can get this bigger and this stronger, and these bigger and stronger. But from what I understand, there's nothing you can do to thicken up the ACL or the MCL or the PCL or the meniscus or the Achilles
or your ankles or your Achilles. Yeah.
So I don't know. Where I'm going is, I would guess, in terms of if you're the NFL, how much longer do you allow star after star after star to blow it out in the 3 weeks that don't count necessarily?
Sure. Absolutely.
And am I wrong, Brent? I'm never happy with an injury. Nobody is. But if you lose your star football player in week 2 of a real game, a meaningful game, a fluke slippage, a fluke roll into, to me, I can live with that more than week 2 of training camp.
Absolutely.
Am I wrong on that?
No. And which, to your point, it makes you wonder, what do they do in preseason camp that, I mean, you've got to hit some. I mean, it's not the days of Pat Dye that you and I grew up with, where they hit every day.
Yeah.
And it took them to what, Terry? October 1 to get their legs underneath them again.
Many coaches beat their team up in the preseason and they lost games because of it. Well, you walked into where I wanted to go a little bit. We're in the era now, the athlete, even at the high college levels of pro athlete, that athlete has put in enormous amount of hours in the weight room.
Sure.
I would guess, and I'm just going to throw out 85%. I would guess 85% of every player on an NFL roster right now, all 32 rosters times 90, I would guess 85, 90% have all played NFL football. You've got rookies, but not many.
Right.
With that said, the NFL rosters, 1,000 some odd players on all rosters right now, 90 players before they've cut, times 32. Those guys have tackled or been tackled, blocked or been blocked, caught a pass or defended a pass, rushed a football or passed a football, or caught, I think where you see where I'm going, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times. Meaning, okay, well, they don't tackle well. They need to tackle in practice. These guys have tackled a million times. They know how to tackle.
Yeah.
They know how to get tackled. At what point does the NFL go, my God, they're already trimming. They've gone from 4 to 3 preseason.
Yeah.
They're about to go to 2 because they're going to go to 18 games.
Yes.
At what point does the NFL go, enough? You're all professional football players, save for a couple of rookies, but they're high-level rookies. Let's just have a classroom training camp. And if the first couple if the first few games are a little sloppy, what's going to be sloppy across the boards?
Yeah.
It's going to be sloppy across. But you're not, Brent, have you seen how many guys are blown out and done 1 week into the NFL? 1 weekend.
Just unbelievable. And listen, it really makes you wonder the way we're lengthening these seasons. Terry, some of these guys that blow out an ACL in July, could they be back? Could they be back one day by what? December or January?
Who went out today? Somebody, shame on me. I'm busy and running around doing business and putting shows together and blah, blah, blah. Today, somebody was in the news with an injury in football, and they were saying the very thing.
Yeah.
They were going, well, gosh darn, if you start doing the math, it's the last it's the last day of July,
Right.
but gosh darn, the Super Bowl is February 9th.
Yes.
It's like the second. I think the Super Bowl falls this year, the second Sunday in February. You start going, gosh darn, this guy may be back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, in the national championship game this year is the 20th of January.
I think, Brent Beard, and you NFL guys that really know it, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what you're speaking to, the season is so long and the medicine has gotten so good. You know, we have cut down, I think, on time with rehab, but I think I'm speaking correctly. The NFL was almost forced to change their IR. The old days, not that long ago, I don't know if you remember this, 15 years ago, if you put a guy on the IR in the NFL, they were done for the season.
Yes.
Well, now there are markers that you can IR a guy and he's eligible to come back week 8, week 10, week. Yeah. I think because the season's so damn long, you can't kill him for the year now.
No, that is incredible when you think about that. But you remember when we started scoping these?
Oh,
that made all the difference in the world.
What an innovation!
That would have saved some guys' career when you and I were growing up watching that.
It really did. And you and I have had this show a million times. They're fun shows. We talked to Dr. Bates. Great innovations in sports, just across the board. Open it up. What are the great last 50 years, just say, of things that have come into sports for the good?
Right.
And we talk cable television, and we talk about all these different things. The arthroscopic surgery is one of, if not number one, because in the old days, you young guys, you tore something that was called ACL, MCL, PCL. Okay, in the old days, they went to fix it.
Sure.
They had to cut through everything. They just sliced and diced.
Yeah.
Good, strong muscle, good this, good that, get bone out of the way, right?
Right.
So to fix it. So then you were adding a multiple number of problems, and that was 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, the scope is so good. You finite go in. Healthy part. Yeah, you're right. Those scopes have been a big help.
Oh, they have. And look, back to your point, Terry, even the skill position players, is there a temptation to put these guys in a brace?
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to like it.
We've talked about that as well. They're not going to like it, and most of them balk at it. But, it's standard operating procedure now. Offensive linemen, big, high-level college and NFL, you play with a brace on.
Right.
Now, they're not cutting and shooking and driving, and the hips are moving. But, the brace would help, and we've talked to Dr. Bates about that. But that 195-pound wiggle guy and a brace don't jive.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No. Now, here's the other thing, and I bet you saw some of this when you played baseball for the Harbor of the South. The guys that we talked to who've had ACL surgery would tell you, okay, physically, I'm ready to go in 6 months, but my mind is telling me I don't know if I can cut and try this because is it going to happen again?
Yeah. I've never had that. I've never been really injured when I was younger and played sports. Never a major injury. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to imagine if you are a fast, quick twitch, shake and bake, run away from people, best athlete on the field, and you cut wrong or somebody rolls into you and you blow it out.
Yeah. One
or two of the things in there and you blow it out. I can only imagine. You've been a star. It's come easy to you to a degree.
Sure.
You are laid up for the first time ever, and it's 6 months, it's 8 months, and you've done the rehab, and it stinks. And you've watched. You've never watched before, but you've watched your team, and you've done it all, and Doc says, okay, today's the day.
Yeah.
You are unencumbered.
Right.
You are released to full go. I'd be scared to death.
But how soon do you go into fourth gear?
I'd be scared to death.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you be scared to death?
Sure,
that
you would.
first 17-yard dig and cut out.
Now, help
I'd
me
be
on
scared to
that.
death.
Help me on this. Isn't there some, for lack of a better word, scar tissue that you've got to work through a little bit? And that can be scary, I bet, too.
We're going to talk to Dr. Bates a little bit later on our Southeast Orthopedic Specialist sports medicine discussion. Mike Trout's going through it, the great baseball player. He's 32 years old. He's been very injured the last couple of years. He tore up his meniscus in May. Meniscus, learning from Dr. Bates over these the last year, meniscus is not the worst of the things in here, to speak bluntly. The ACL, MCL, PCL. Meniscus is, if from what I understand, if you had to tear something, you'd want it meniscus. Trout had a meniscus repair. He just got released to run and start rehab, and immediately just running, not playing, running, major pain, and it spooked the entire Angels organization. And they have said it's loose scar tissue.
Yes.
And they've shut him down again.
Wow.
They've shut him down. Yeah, that scar tissue. And I don't know what you do, how you get it out, how you move it. But, it's a tough time of year. I'm holding my breath, but there's nothing. Brent, we're going to have a bunch. The headlines we've seen for 1 week in the NFL with regard to blown out this and that, done for the season, we will see them in college football. There's too many guys going too hard to not.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So do I. But
talk about our local, as we go to break, talk about our local colleges, who's doing what, when, and
Florida and Miami open today. Florida State has been open for about a week.
Because of the early kickoff.
Georgia's tomorrow. And by the way, in Athens, is there a come to Jesus tonight or in the morning?
My goodness.
And can you and listen, how many, if you took the expletives out of that speech, how many words would be left?
Man, I agree or disagree. If you think Kirby could have done a lot more, did not, I don't know. I'm not in that world, but from afar, I feel a little bit for Kirby. What you can only do so much.
Yeah,
you can only do so much to your 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kid. At some point, they leave the house at 8 at night and say, "Yeah, Mom, yeah, Dad, I know, don't drink and drive. I know, don't. Yeah, I promise." But gosh darn. If you're Kirby Smart, you're going to have sleepless nights.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia is one more incident away from, I think, a bunch of people calling for Kirby's job.
Maybe.
Just because there's nothing else to call for.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Well, and this is what we've been talking about now for about 3 weeks. Again, how soon does this get over Kirby's head and it goes to the other decision makers?
And then you're done.
And then you're yes. And then, we can find them with NIL. We can limit their playing time. We can suspend them during the season. But, Terry, they can't take the car away, can they?
No. And you wonder, as we go to break here, one segment in on a Wednesday, we're live at Twin Peaks. Tons of TVs here. Great Olympic viewing if you're looking for a place. If you're calling and texting the fellas saying, "Hey, meet me." Well, Twin Peaks, Atlantic, and Kernan. We are here. It's going to be a fun night and a fun entire Olympics, leading us right into the NFL. I want to throw this out as we go to break, though. Staying with Kirby, I get the argument. Well, Georgia, and when I say Georgia, big boy, big booster, big money. The guys, the president runs the university, the athletic director runs the athletic department.
Right.
They're kind of 1 and 2, but there's always a group, the big boys, the bourbon and cigar guys at every school. Right. Well, Georgia's got that too. The big boys. You wonder what their thought process is now, because they've got 2 titles.
Yeah.
They're not chasing. Remember the 40-year thing? Georgia hadn't won a title in 40 years. That was hanging over Georgia's head for years. Everybody else has. All your neighbors have. Well, Georgia now went out and got 2 very recently. You wonder if the Georgia boys that helped run that university, if now that they have 2 under their belt, if they go, okay, I'm tired of seeing this now.
Yeah.
Okay, we got our titles. I'm tired of seeing this negativity versus what if they still didn't have any?
True.
If they were still
True.
chasing it and Kirby and the boys were this close, you wonder if the Georgia boys go, all right, let's just we want to get one or two.
And
They've got their two modern.
Yeah, but now,
Does that factor?
As we go to break, here's what's a little bit different about this. Here's the thought process. Okay, what's different now is big boy booster, I'm providing some of the money.
Interesting.
In this NIL.
Up front, and they're asking for more.
Now, I'm tired of seeing so-and-so on the front page for the wrong reason.
Wait a minute. That's where my money and my car went?
So how does that change it, Terry?
Woo. Don't you love there's nothing like
Nothing.
Southern college football.
Nothing.
And I know this is true in Northern football with Ohio State and Michigan. I know, but it doesn't play in the mind as well as, and you know, there's always that backroom bourbon group of guys.
And they think they run the program anyway.
And they kind of do.
Yeah.
But Florida's got them. Georgia's got them. Alabama's got them. Tennessee's got them.
Yes.
That's the most expensive steakhouse in town.
Yes.
Always has a back bourbon room.
Right.
And
if they call the athletic office, they're not on hold very long.
They're not on hold long. And when they go to that steakhouse, they get that table of 10.
Yeah.
And it's the boys.
Right.
And there's an issue going on, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And they have their big fat steak.
Right.
And they dance around the issue.
Yes.
That they're there for.
Right.
Then they settle up with little Sally Mae. And Sally Mae and two other servers, they make a big tip that night.
Yep.
And the big boy boosters, they go to the bourbon room. And the bourbon and the cigars come out.
Yep.
And they discuss the issues that need to be cleaned up.
Is there a call to the athletic department the next day?
Might be.
Yes.
Might be.
Yeah.
And they're all taking odds. No, I want to make the call. No, I want to make because they're unified.
Yes.
They're unified.
Yes.
And that call to the AD is stronger than the AD's call to the president.
Maybe a Zoom call. Do you think now?
It's stronger.
It could be.
Those 8 big boy boosters with the bourbon,
right?
When they call the AD and say, you can call the president or I can call the president, but I've got 8 strong,
right?
And you're one.
And listen, those guys know, Terry, that within the next 6 to 8 to 12 months, they're going to be called to come off the hip again.
Oh, they are. Oh, you know it. You got to love good Southern college football, and practice is upon us. We went along, but who cares? It's a Wednesday, Hump Day edition. We're live at Twin Peaks. If you're heading home or passing this area, come by. Great Olympics. The U.S. is
3-on-3 here.
As expected. Yeah, 3-on-3 on women, and the U.S. is walking the dog on South Sudan. You know, South Sudan gave them a game the other day in practice.
Yes.
USA men 75-57. Starting the fourth quarter here. So you kind of expected that.
Oh, yeah.
But South Sudan, they had their moment.
Sure.
In the preseason game, the practice
Absolutely.
game. There you have it. He's Brent Beard. I'm Terry Norvelle. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. We will go ahead and fire up our chat. If any way you're taking in the show, whatever platform, there should be a chat section on the platform. We'd love to hear from you. Questions, comments, thoughts, opinions. We'll try to read those as we go. One down, a long way to go. Hump Day edition. The Young and Norvelle show continues after this quick timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Hey, here we go. A Hump Day edition, the Young and Norvelle show. We're live at our Wednesday home. Of course, you know it by now. Twin Peaks, great addition to the restaurant community. Brent Beard's here. Terry Norvelle. We're hoping to catch up with Patrick Young a little bit later. Dr. Aaron Bates should join us around 5 o'clock if we're on his normal schedule. He's getting back from vacation. We'll talk some sports medicine with Dr. Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Brent, I feel like I need to give a weather report. Well, it was this morning when I let the dog out, it was hot. The sun wasn't up.
Yes.
It was humid.
Yes.
Messed around, took a shower, got ready, did a little show prep. Midday, kind of let the dog out again. It was hot. It was humid.
Yes.
A little sticky.
Yes.
Messed around, got dressed, left the house after prepping everything, had a couple of business appointments. Let the dog out one more time. It was hot.
Yes. Yes.
I
see the theme there. I see the pattern.
It was humid, and I know you. You're a good old Southern boy. You know, and you love the summer as much as we all do, and we grew up in heat and all. But about right now, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah,
you?
Yeah. I'm looking.
Good.
I'm thinking about the third Saturday in October when the high is 72 degrees.
Yeah, and it's coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's coming.
Yeah.
It'll be here before long. We're here happy hour, obviously 4 to 6 here on a Wednesday at Twin Peaks. No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they have everything from tequila cocktails and extensive bourbon category. The good old Southern boys could have a little bourbon meeting over here, talking some football. Top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. You got to love, I'm not comfortable enough in my manhood to go to the bar and order my bourbon and say, I'd like that over some ice balls, please. Right? and we'll get to Patrick real quick, but local craft beers, of course, during happy hour here at Twin Peaks. Handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget about the 29-degree draft beer. I will welcome Patrick Young. Patrick, as I understand it, you have you walked into a mini bar and ordered a bourbon and said, "I'd like that bourbon over some ice balls, please."
I bet that last line wasn't saying.
No, I don't think so. Patrick, are you there, my friend? Where are you? What are you doing, Patrick? Where's Patrick? Zach, going once, going twice. We need Patrick. We got to hear Patrick. I just made a great ice balls joke. We can't wait. You can't waste a good ice balls joke here. So we'll work on Patrick getting his audio up here. Brent Beard, Terry Norvelle. Major League Baseball, the trade deadline came and went. Not a lot of huge moves, Brent, but I want to go to one, and Patrick's going to get a laugh out of this because I've talked to him about.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, Patrick, Young.
We can hear you now.
I want to see you, good-looking son of a gun. We need to see you, Patrick. What are you doing?
I'm going to be there in T-minus 20 minutes.
T-minus 20 minutes.
T-minus 20 minutes.
Sounds good. Hey, Pat, I don't know if you followed. You've been busy all day. USA, as expected, men's basketball. They are taking South Sudan to the woodshed, 80-68, 7-23 in the fourth quarter. Pretty much expected, right?
Well, I'm sure we kind of thought after the exhibition game that South Sudan was going to give us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I like that, they made it aware publicly that we are not taking this game lightly, and because South Sudan, they did get their first win against somebody credible.
Yeah, they did.
Before.
I saw that.
And, they actually might make it on to, they're not going to lose this game, but they win the next one. They might advance to the knockouts.
They're kind of a cool story. They're really a cool story.
What's sad is that Greece is not going to make it.
Yeah, how about that? How about Greece?
I know, right?
And Giannis and the boys, they're done. But South Sudan is a pretty good story.
Yeah, they are.
And the Olympics are about stories and the world. It's sports, obviously, but it's about the world. I mean, they're a country that kind of broke off. You had Sudan, and South Sudan kind of broke off. And that happens in our world. Some fracturing of countries. And
that sounds like a conference.
Yes. So South Sudan breaks off into the South Sudan.
And they go to the ACC.
Yes, in the ACC. But they're a neat story. And they've got great athletes. You can see that they've got great athletes. They're maybe not the most basketball smooth yet, but you can see Luol Deng.
Right.
They've got several guys with high-level basketball IQ and experience that are running it. And, Patrick, I'm looking at these guys. They all look like basketball players. I mean, they're not guys. They're not just guys wearing jerseys. And this nation may be trouble here in basketball for years to come.
Good.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. And a lot of their guys are, played college or have played in the NBA.
Absolutely.
Only going to develop more, and it's such good exposure for them, and I hope that. But it's great exposure, but you just hope that there's action that follows after. And what I mean, they talked about in South Sudan how there is. I don't want to say because I don't want to be, I don't care if I'm wrong or not.
Yeah.
But I think zero outdoor basketball hoops or gyms or
is that right?
It's something. It was something ridiculous where it's like, man. How is that possible? And it's a sport. That shouldn't be a issue to put a basketball court. To get baseball, that's tough. But to get a court out there, two hoops,
I agree.
Come on, man.
I agree. And
let's get some money over there.
Brent Beard, Patrick just hit. I don't know if he was going this direction, but he just hit, in my opinion, why basketball internationally has just gone on a meteoric rise. You think about the Dream Team. That was 92. That wasn't that long ago. But where basketball was internationally, it was way behind, and how far they've come. And I want to also throw in soccer. Not my favorite sport, but soccer, other than conquering the United States, has conquered the world. And I think there's a correlation between basketball and soccer. And like Patrick just said, take baseball or American football. a baseball field is compared to soccer and basketball. A baseball field's intricate. You've got to have a mound. You've got to have a plate, 4 bases, foul lines. It's intricate. Football, the game of and the field, it's 100 yards. You need sidelines. You really need to mark it off per 10 yards. It's an intricate. Basketball is pretty damn simple. Soccer, they call the beautiful game.
Right.
My God, soccer, call this thing a goal, call that thing a goal. Okay, get something you can kick, and you're playing soccer.
Sure.
Basketball, Patrick, if you have something to shoot and you can improvise something to shoot it through up in the air,
Right.
I think those two issues
Shoot, that's how it started.
have helped soccer and basketball. And this is not a dig. Basketball and soccer are very simplistic compared to baseball. 3 strikes, and was that a foul ball? Was that a strike? Yes, it was a strike, but not a strike to put him in the dugout. He gets another one because he touched it. Blah, 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 right?
I'm still not sure. We're not maybe even a generation away for soccer as far as the popularity. I think with I think with millenniums, they appreciate it, they understand it. I think with more of your older folks that they really don't. But look, I mean, how many of us played hoops even without a net? Now
it's so simple. It is a simple game.
My question too is, and Pat, help us on this: is the ball itself for basketball? Is it the same exact size as, say, an NBA?
I'm not sure.
Or is it different?
You know? I believe it's the same size, but the material is different.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Well, not that this matters at all, but the women's basketball is smaller.
Yeah, it is.
The basket,
right.
The basket is the same size,
right?
But the ball is smaller, so theoretically, it should go in easier.
Right? So, well, and Pat brings up a good point. Pat, what is the ball made of that makes it different than what you'd see on a regular college game?
Well, I know the Nike basketball that we primarily see in college, it does have more grip.
Okay.
I never really, it took me a while to use the NBA ball because it doesn't have as much grip in comparison. But it's interesting. I think within the last 20 years, the NBA, they tried to change the basketball.
I remember that.
Where it does have a little bit more and the players hated it.
Yep.
Really?
I remember that. Brent, you don't remember that?
Yeah.
Patrick, I remember it wasn't that long ago. They came out, I wanted to say they called it a synthetic type material, and they came out and was it the NBA or high level college? They, to a man, said, no, this thing's slippery. It's terrible. I'm not sure why they switched. I don't know if it was we don't want to make, cowhide, and we don't, I don't know if it was PETA induced,
right.
But Patrick, I remember that vividly. I think the NBA guys from the first dribble said, no. And that thing was gone quickly. That ball was gone. Remember that, Patrick?
It was gone quickly. Oh, it was gone quickly, Terry.
Yeah.
Like I got a chance because I knew a former guy that was around and he had a bunch of those basketballs at his house. And because, if you thought the league was changing to that, you needed to get used to it. And I liked it. I liked it. I'm not sure if the league, if it still do that, but Adidas has their own basketball. Under Armour has their own basketball. Nike, Spalding, Wilson. Depending on when I was playing, depending on who we were playing and where we were going, sometimes we would have to practice with a different basketball that week in preparation for the game.
Interesting, Patrick.
Which is stupid.
Were you a full palm guy? Could you palm the ball?
I could palm the ball. Yep.
Yeah, you were. And
it wasn't a great palm. It depended. Like that NBA ball, it was so hard for me to palm because it just wasn't a good material it was made out of.
Yeah, but the standard college ball,
it was too slippery.
When you palmed the college ball, were you confident if you went up that you could one hand palm it and throw it down? That good of a grip? Yeah.
Now, Pat, I wonder.
Have you seen Pat's hands?
Absolutely.
Yes, I have seen Pat's hands.
They're monsters.
Pat, I'm just wondering. I mean, you would think at some point the United States has got to practice a little bit over here at home. So did they? What I wonder is, Do they practice with the same basketball that they play with in the Olympics?
Yeah, they probably went with the Olympic ball, right, Pat? Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to. Yeah, it'd be, I mean, stupid for them not to prepare with that ball, right?
And Patrick, we'll go to break here. We'll come back and take it to the top of the hour. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, and I'm watching the men right now. They're finishing off the win over South Sudan here, 91-72, 4.5 to go. The Olympics obviously are international. It's an international sporting event. International basketball rules used to apply. Patrick, do you remember international basketball in the Olympics? They would play with that international lane. I don't see that lane, so I think.
Oh yeah, the hexagon or the rhombus.
Good point.
Yeah, we're looking at the basketball right now, and this looks like a standard NBA college court. It's got the 3-point line. It's got the what do you call it? The take charge area, the restricted area.
Restricted area, yeah.
I think international basketball has come around to the traditional NBA because remember they had that weird lane, and it's gone now.
Yeah.
And the 3-on-3.
What's so stupid about it, Terry? What's so stupid about it? Well, so stupid about it, Terry. So what we have now, the rectangular paint. When there's a free throw, the advantage, should be for the defense.
Sure.
To box out the guys that are. When they open the bottom of it up, and consequently push those defenders back a little bit further, the offensive rebound numbers went up. Of course it did. The angle that you have them in.
Yeah, we're looking right now at the lane, and it looks wide now. So,
it really does.
It looks
but
wide.
It used to go out like a rhombus.
Yeah, remember that?
I think that's the shape. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the international.
Good memory, Terry.
Pat, hang tight. We're going to take a break here.
One thing real quick. Did you guys have you seen any 3-on-3 basketball?
Yeah, we're
kind of watching it right now.
Yeah. So the rules are different. It's the first one to 21 or 10 minutes. If you airball, you don't have to clear it. The USA played Serbia. They had Jimmer Fredette and they had a former Gator, Canyon Barry.
Yeah,
out there yesterday, and they got beat pretty good. Not gonna lie, but it's a different type of basketball. Sure.
I got to ask. We're watching some of it now, and to be a spoiler, US. As I understand it, they lost again today, Jimmer Fredette's team. My question is, do we really need this 3-on-3 basketball? I mean, is this needed?
Look, Sarah, here's the argument. Swimming has how many freaking events?
Yeah,
how many different events does swimming have?
Okay.
This gives an opportunity for basketball. There should be a one-on-one tournament in basketball. In the NBA,
all right,
into the Olympics.
I'm gonna call you out.
We need a one-on-one tournament.
I'm gonna call you out.
And then we need then there should be a 3-point contest. Who's the best 3-point shooter in the world?
I'm gonna call you out on that. That's swimming.
Stupid.
I'm gonna call you out. Swimming has multiple lengths, right?
Multiple
50 meters,
and then they have
100.
And then with it, they have 4 different types of approaches to swimming.
Okay, yeah,
techniques.
Breaststroke. Yeah, I get you, but I'm fine if you want to do basketball and say, okay, the court's 94 feet, the next court's 105 feet, the next court's 210 feet. I just don't think we need the 3-on-3. We've got real basketball. Do we need 3-on-3 soccer? No, I don't.
What was that sport? What was that sport, Terry? That you Omega Ball?
Yes, remember that? Remember Omega Ball? That's great.
We need that in the Olympics. But we're going to break. I might meet y'all by the time we got a break. But I was thinking about this, talking with my mom the other day, and I got something else to talk about when we get on the other side. But how many football players, American football players, do you think could actually, if they weren't in the NFL, could compete in the Olympics in a certain event? Because I feel like because there's no football, international football, it eliminates an opportunity for some of the best athletes to be Olympians.
Absolutely. I mean, the argument for years,
but
I've always wanted, my USA pride sticks out, my red, white, and blue sticks out. I've always wanted to make a sky ride in the sky to the rest of the world. Hey, our best athletes don't play soccer. Yeah. I know Mr. Brazil and France and Germany, y'all may beat us in soccer, but you understand, our best athletes are playing football, baseball, basketball, and then soccer.
And
I want the world to know that.
Yeah, and to Pat's point, how many wide receivers and DBs could be on the relay team or the 100 or run the 100 meters?
Good point.
Or something like that.
How many linemen could throw the disc and all those
Yeah.
things? And
Yeah, or the shot
hammer,
put.
throw the
Yeah.
javelin.
Look at Patrick. He's got
Long
his
jump.
Patrick,
I like that.
Patrick took his big brain pills today again. I like when he takes his big brain.
Oh, wait till I bring this other thing on the other side.
All right, we'll see about that.
And,
Let's take a quick break.
As we go to, I want to say this as I try to take Terry's job. Who thought of gymnastics? Have you ever just taken a moment to think about who actually put gymnastics together? And we're going to talk about that on the other side.
That is interesting. Think about that. Good job, Pat. Let's take a break. We're going to come back, regroup, set up the second hour. We hope to visit with Dr. Aaron Bates as well, talking some sports medicine. Patrick Young's hanging around, Brent Beard, Terry Norvelle. We're live inside Twin Peaks, 29.2 degree ice cold draft beer is being served right here, including a wonderful menu and Olympic TV all over. A great place. If you're done with work, swing by, grab the fellas, and come to Twin Peaks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage.
I was tempted.
It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor,
I was certain.
the meat, the love, the community. Our community.
Change you and you will be mine.
Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help.
Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
It is a fun, busy Hump Day edition, the Wednesday edition, of course, coming to you live, the Young and Norvelle Show, coming to you live from Twin Peaks here at the intersection of Atlantic and Kernan. If you haven't been by, what are you waiting on? Tremendous viewing TV setup, and, of course, great food, great atmosphere. The young ladies will take good care of you. And, boy, if you're looking for a hangout, you and your favorite group to watch your favorite football team, start making plans now to attend and check out Twin Peaks. Terry Norvelle here. We've got Patrick Young on the phone, and it's time to talk some sports medicine. Unfortunately, man, I tell you, with all these football camps opening up, we have injuries everywhere, and not just related to football. Baseball deep into their season as we welcome Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Dr. Bates, how was have we talked since Spain? How was Spain, man? And did I ask you guys, was this a bucket list? Have you and the family and or the missus, have y'all been there before? Was this something you checked off? How did that happen? Nice. Now, was Spain your idea, her idea? Did y'all flip a coin?
It was certainly her idea. You know how these things go.
Yes. Hey, Doc, let's go over a couple of situations with sports medicine. Of course, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, one of the great medical facilities in our area, multiple facilities. And the Bumps and Bruises clinics, man, are right around the corner as football season is upon us. With that, let's start with a baseball injury. Boy, the Braves aren't the only baseball team with tough luck, and particularly with pitchers. Boy, did you see, Doc, and I've never heard of this description, but the Mets, their ace Senga, had been out all year. He comes back, has an awkward situation with his plant foot on a ball in the infield. He tears his leg up, his calf. He has a calf injury, but he was out all year, Doc, with something called a shoulder capsule strain. Never heard of that. What is that?
Well, the capsule is really where your static shoulder ligaments kind of lie. They're kind of the ligaments kind of thickening of the capsule.
Right.
And so he likely strained some of his ligaments that help with shoulder stability, but not enough that needed any surgery. And so, he just had to get that to calm down and get the inflammation down so he can get back to pitching.
Man, just not fair, though. He takes care of that injury, comes back. His first start of the year has a weird situation with a ball in the infield, and he's got a serious calf issue. It looks like, man, you just hate when stuff like that happens.
It's not surprising. I mean, he was out, without running around as much. I mean, they still stay in shape, but,
right.
You're never really in game shape unless you're playing.
Sure.
And so, he's out doing other things, concentrating on his shoulder mostly.
Yeah.
And so it's not surprising that he had this injury to his calf.
The Los Angeles Angels really, really scared right now with Mike Trout, the star player that's really been banged up. The last 3 or 4 years, Trout just cannot stay healthy. When he was healthy, he's one of the best players, if not the best, in the game. Doc, we've heard you talk a little bit about rehabbing and post-surgery scar tissue. So Mike Trout, he's out. He had a meniscus repair like May 3rd. Okay, meniscus repair, has been out rehabbing it. He gets released to start running, Doc, and his first real, not game, he wasn't in a game. He was just kind of running to kind of continue rehabbing. This was like last week, and he feels a lot of pain in there, and that scares the heck out of, obviously, the Angels. They send him in, and they say it was a scar tissue scare, but they've shut him down. What happens? I know, obviously, scar tissue, they were saying it was kind of floating around and got caught in an area to cause pain. What do you do? How do you get it out? Is that some kind of Graston technique, or what's the deal with scar tissue with Mike Trout?
Yeah, so first of all, everybody suture in the
Okay.
meniscus tear to get the meniscus to heal. That would be, if that had happened and he came back and then started playing and then had a, pain in his knee, now that would really be a scare because you're like, well, did that re-tear, right?
Yeah.
What he had was a tear in his meniscus that likely was not repairable by the tear pattern, and he just had that part of the tear resected or taken out,
Okay.
right? So we call it a partial meniscectomy. And so that recovery is about 4 to 6 weeks or so. And so he went down to the AAA and played a little bit, started playing a little bit. And this is when he had this issue with his knee. So you get some scar tissue built up. And every now and then you may tweak it or something like that. The other thing is you don't know how much meniscus had to be removed. The
Okay.
more meniscus you remove, the more cartilage there is that's uncovered, that's seeing more pressure. And
Okay.
so that is always going to be an issue as well going forward. And so, he kind of tweaked it a bit, but it doesn't really scare me much as far as him not being able to come back and play
Okay.
with this.
Doc, with regard to scar tissue post, obviously, procedure, does scar tissue just float around forever, or does the body naturally flush it out, or is it just in there forever? What's the deal with scar tissue?
Typically, it can loosen up over time. And so if it loosens up and it gets into a part of the knee or around the knee where it doesn't become a problem anymore, it gets into a good groove and it's in a good space where you don't have the pain, well, then you don't have the pain. Every now and then it becomes a problem where you have to go back in and kind of clean it out again. Sometimes you can have propagation of a meniscus tear that you have kind of resected a little bit out too. So you could have some of that, but it doesn't sound like that was the case with his MRI.
Visit with Dr. Aaron Bates, of course, our Wednesday Southeast Orthopedic Specialist sports medicine discussion. Doc, I've known some people in the medical field over the years, and I want to say quite a few more on the chiro side that with regard to scar tissue, they do this Graston technique. And these are like special tools, if you will, that really get in and their design is that something that would come into play? You're trying to just crunch the scar tissue up, move it around, get it out. What I've heard Graston technique.
That could be a possibility of helping to treat this. That, or there's also something called ASTIM. And really what it is trying to promote inflammation or bleeding into that area to try to get better healing tissue around there. That's the basic concept of it. And how long it takes, who knows? They do it. We do it for like say chronic tendonitis stuff as well.
Yeah, man, I've had it done to me a few times, and man, it hurts. It hurts. They say it's a good hurt, but doctor, it hurts. A couple more things for Dr. Aaron Bates. You may have seen the Dallas Cowboys defensive end Williams tore his ACL and had a partial tear of MCL. Is that common? Or multiple? Do you see it every day? Is it common to tear more than one? Obviously, we talk MCL, ACL, PCL. Is it common, or is that kind of rare that this poor guy, done for the year for the Cowboys, full tear ACL torn and partial MCL?
Yeah, it's actually more common to have multiple injuries in the knee when you tear your ACL than just an isolated ACL. So typically you'll have an ACL acute rupture, possibly with a MCL partial tear or a meniscus tear, either a lateral meniscus tear or a medial meniscus tear. Sometimes you get an ACL PCL. Sometimes you get an ACL posterolateral corner type of injury. And so, yeah, it's actually less common, much less common to have isolated.
Really? Wow.
ACL tears, correct.
From a rehab standpoint, do you rehab them both at the same time, or do you isolate one and then the other to make it even longer rehab?
No, you rehab them at the same time, and one takes the priority to the other. But it's all done at the same time.
Doc, last thing I'm going to throw at you. This is not your specialty, just me and kind of thinking about the body and what are your thoughts on cracking bones? you crack your knuckles. When I was young, I could crack my back. I would throw my hip one side and it would crack like crazy. And I would throw it and it would crack. I can sit in a chair and push back. And there are certain gym apparatuses I can sit and crack my back. Is that good or bad, or is there anything just cracking your own bones? I mean, you used to hear I thought it was a mother's wives' tale. Terry, quit cracking your knuckles; they're going to get big. But what are your thoughts on that? I know it's a basic question.
Yeah, nobody truly knows the answer to that. We think it's like maybe an escape of a negative pressure on a joint or something like that, equalizing the pressure out in the joint. And nobody knows that, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Yeah. Or if you can do it, if you can crack them or you can't crack them, is it good that you can crack them, or is it bad that you can crack them? Does it mean that something's going on with the joint? Yeah. Well, joints that people can crack, we can see x-rays for, and they may be normal. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad. And I can't tell you whether doing it is going to be good or bad for you.
Dr. Bates, I'm so glad that you said, and you're a learned doctor with a lot of schooling and a lot of practical experience, that you said we, the medical world, because I've read up on stuff like this before, and from what I've read, the actual noise, the crack, when you crack your knuckles or your back or your neck, there's not a definitive what is making the noise. Some stuff said it's releasing of gas that's caught in there. Yes. Some say no, it's releasing of air that's caught in there, but nobody really knows what the popping noise is. Right? Is that right?
Correct. Nobody really knows.
How about that?
Nobody really knows.
How about that? Man, at least I would have got that one right on my medical questionnaire. I'd have got that one on my exam.
Where's Patrick when you need him now? He can actually give you some props for that.
Exactly. Hey, Doc, good stuff, my man. We're going to really need you, unfortunately, with football. My goodness, Doc, I know it happens every year, but gosh darn, we are 1 week into NFL training camp, and I'm telling you, every day, one or two guys are blown out for the season, Doc. It just seems, I don't know if we've got more players on rosters or they're too big and too – have you noticed that?
I mean, I think it's been like that each year going forward. I mean, bigger, stronger, faster, you're going to have more injuries.
Goodness gracious. And I'm scared to death because I see it every year when the college guys who start about right now. The college guys are about to hit the field for 3 weeks with expanded rosters, and they're practicing hard. You don't practice hard during the season, but they're practicing hard now. And it's almost scary to read to wake up and look and see, because it's invariable. You're going to see this guy's done for the year. That guy, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. You got to practice hard at some point in time. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I hate it, but I say it all the time previewing our segment here with you, Doc. I love this segment. I wish we didn't have to have this segment, but we have to have this segment. Injuries are part
of it.
Of sports. Good job, Doc. I appreciate you. We'll do it again on Wednesday. We'll start having people send in their chats. Maybe they've got questions, medical questions they want to fire your way. We'll let you take care of that. Thank you, my friend. Have a good rest of your day, buddy.
Thank you. Sounds good, buddy. Thank you. Have a good one.
That's our buddy, Dr. Aaron Bates. We've really enjoyed this segment. Hey, our clock's a little bit off. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll reset. Brent Beard is still here, of course. Brent and I are here on the floor at Twin Peaks. We'll hook up with Patrick Young. A lot to get to, man. Major League Baseball trading deadline. The Jags had pretty good offensive performance yesterday, and as if the UFL / The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, as if they're not behind the 8 ball enough, just burning money, they're in a big fight. You won't believe who they're fighting with, and it ain't good for UFL or The Rock. That and a whole lot more. Stay with us. It is a Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, the gang is all here, all 3 of us inside.
We needed some color.
Twin Peaks. What, your shirt is very colorful.
You sure did.
Your shirt is
I like
colorful.
that.
We needed some of that.
And we'll try and scooch Pat in. And wait a minute, we don't want to. Number one, we always want to see my face.
Yeah, right.
Dude, Patrick Young, that is a good looking shirt, man. Seriously,
Chubbies.
man. I
love the material. It's much softer than we're wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah,
t-shirt, and it's cool. If you get it wet, it dries quick. So I need to get more of them. They are great.
Hold on, Brantley's got the shirt.
Yes.
Are those more Warby Parker?
Yeah.
God darn it! This guy jumped me. Right. I got a couple Warby Parker frames.
You know, envy is a sin.
It
is. It is a great sin. Absolutely, it is.
And I'm admitting to it, man. How many frames have you got?
It's 2.
Darn it! I wanted those. Those are those tortoise shell things.
Yeah, and they're like a little bit blue down here. So
But see, the great thing is now you can get less expensive glasses that look just as good instead of having to pay $1,000 for a pair, right?
I can't believe,
I tell you, Warby Parker, they don't owe us anything.
They're so expensive.
Hey, Warby Parker doesn't owe us anything as a sponsor, but Patrick, man, they got some frames, don't they?
They do. They got some great frames.
They got really good choices. Pat, while you're getting settled, Patrick Young is here. If you got some questions, comments, feel free to jump on the chat line. We'd love to hear from you. Brent Beard, Brett McMurphy, ACC Media Poll. What do we got cooking here?
The ACC obviously had their media day not just a few days ago, and they hailed Terry Norvelle. How about this for a tease? They hailed their vote of the media.
I just asked you
until this week.
Patrick, Brent Beard during the break, he said, "Hey, the ACC media polls are released." And I was like, well, wait a minute, their media days were last week. Did they hold them?
They
and
did.
They did. So what do you got?
No surprise, FSU's won. Clemson's 2. The two teams
You're
trying to
gonna leave.
leave are 1 and 2. Miami is 3. NC State is 4. Louisville is 5. Virginia Tech is 6. SMU is 7. My goodness, North Carolina at 8.
Wow.
Dang, North Carolina.
I know. How about that, Patrick?
Yeah, Georgia Tech is 9. Who plays
Florida
FSU?
State, yeah.
Newcomer Cal is 10. 11 is Duke. 12 is Syracuse. 13 is Pitt. Boston College is 14. Wake is 15.
God, look at that
Virginia
conference.
is 16. And 17 is Stanford.
Stanford.
Welcome to the ACC,
Number
Stanford.
17. Hey, the only thing to make this worse for the ACC is as if Florida State, if this was to hold, Florida State 1, Clemson 2 football poll by the media members. The only thing to make it worse is if that holds and they are your championship game.
Yes,
so one of them's holding up the title, and the world knows, well, that's not really an ACC team. They're getting out Patrick.
Yes.
Hey, man, you had a topic.
Yeah.
Talk about what you were cooking, gymnastics. Talk about it.
So we talk about it often, Terry, when we're doing sports history.
Yeah.
How has the game of football progressed?
Yeah.
In a sense, many, from the equipment to the rules to the penalty not being 25 yards anymore. And got me to thinking about gymnastics. How in the world? Because first off, let's just think. Everything starts with an idea, right?
It really does. Yeah.
The only one that I can look at and say, all right, that looks like a pretty sane idea is floor.
Yeah.
Floor routine, flipping around, tumbling, doing
dancing, kind of. Yeah.
How about this? I have an idea. We're going to run really fast, about 30 feet, jump on a mini trampoline, put our hands on it, flip over and land.
Yeah.
And I'll second you. I'll one up you on that one. Let's elevate a beam about 3 feet from the ground. And let's make it 4 inches wide.
4 inches wide.
4 inches wide, and people have to flip on it. Are you kidding me?
And they do it with no hands.
No hands.
And,
they jump on it, and the way that they get on the bar.
Somebody thought of it somewhere to, it didn't just happen.
Well, the conversation started because I was like, the men do a few different events that the women, the women do the pommel horse, which is incredible. Watching those guys do that. They do the parallel bars.
Yes.
They do the high bars, and they do the rings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't the women do these things? Blah, 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 in my mind. And then I was like, how did they think about any of this stuff?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of insane.
How about when the men do the rings and they suspend themselves with their arms?
And the legs are straight out, straight forward. And
now there's a video of you at rehab, and I hate to bring this up, but because it's so pro Patrick, there's a video of you. I don't know if it's at Brooks. You help me out.
Doing pull-ups?
This son of a gun is doing pull-ups in his chair.
Right.
His body weight and his chair weight, and you're doing multiple. That's ridiculous, Patrick.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It was it's pretty cool how that happened, how that came to, because I wasn't in my mind thinking about doing pull-ups, but I was in a different place for rehab, and my best friend was like, hey, I'll run 3 miles if you do 10 pull-ups or something like that, or 5 pull-ups. And it was like, I can do 5. I can do 10. It's like, there's no way you can do 10. Just so we're on FaceTime. And that challenge, I went straight down there, and I just busted them out.
That was ridiculous.
Busted
what
them
do you
out
think your
because of him.
chair weighs?
This chair, because I have to weigh, I think it's right at 40 pounds. It's not incredible, but, I mean, that's still heavy.
And roughly, what were you weighing at the time plus 40 pounds?
265, 260 around that time.
Wow.
Have you
like,
seen
that
the
was
video?
fresh. That was fresh kind of off
No, I
injury.
like to say. So that's basically 300 pounds.
Yeah. But when I was in college, we trained like that all the
Put those
time.
away. Hey, put those, harness those things.
We train like that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
At a certain point, your body weight isn't enough. So you got to put on the belt with the chain and more and more and more. So, our strength coach had
I'm going to be
that.
honest, and you guys can make fun if you want. I'm being dead honest. And I think it's just your body shape and your, I'm a short, squatty guy. I'm, 5'7", 5'8". You are what you are. I don't know what it is, and I'm fairly strong. I've always been strong my whole life. Something about pull-ups and chin-ups. Here it is. Take a look at this in a minute, Brent Beard. I mean, this is terrible streaming, but this is Patrick doing pull-ups in his chair.
This video.
Ridiculous.
Because I had to have my the seatbelt on for the wheelchair, so I could.
Good point.
Oh, since I picked, no, that's a video.
Yeah, there he goes. There he goes. In his chair, doing pull-ups.
And he held my legs just so
so you don't swing.
So it's not swinging. But yeah.
And
There's
you
two.
You did how many?
Look.
I think I did 10. 3.
God, I'd like to slap you.
4.
Envy again.
You know, showing off has got to be a sin too, right? How many?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How many women were in that room right there?
I don't know.
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah, that's a
You got that woman strength.
that's a pride of life.
Look at that.
That's the pride of life right there. And yeah, I still had a brace on at that point too.
Wow.
Hey,
That's incredible.
when I do, what is it? Pull up, chin up. I can't.
Chin ups are palms facing.
For whatever reason, I rock. I don't know what it is, so I've never been good at them.
Are you
and sit-ups.
Are you kicking your legs?
No, it's just my weird. And then sit-ups. I can't ever leave. Some guys can be on their rear end, do sit-ups with nobody. I can't.
Why don't you anchor? You got to anchor your feet.
Yeah, but some guys don't anchor and they can do them. I don't know how they do. How do they do that? How do they do that?
They're better than you.
I guess so.
Listen, let me go back.
I wasn't one of those guys.
Let me go back to your point. My chiropractor is a chiropractic physician, but she has 2 daughters who are gymnasts.
Okay.
Well, one of those daughters is going to be, and she can already tell this, is going to be like SEC quality gymnast.
Wow.
And they were up in Kentucky recently at a meet. And I mean, the girls are like 8 and 6 or something.
And
like
we're
that.
already saying they're going to be SEC.
Yeah. So the reality is, and look, I don't know who says that, but they watch them and they're able to grade them. But it's incredible how competitive they are. But the thing when you watch these gymnasts and like the guy on the pommel horse yesterday, I mean, can you imagine the strength and the training
it's incredible.
that actually goes into that?
It
oh
really
my God!
It would be breathtaking.
To speak to Patrick's point, though, his spinoff is about somebody had to think about that. The beam.
Yeah,
the
pommel
floor.
horse. Like that's.
I've gotten aware because of the SEC network. When I'm home on Friday nights, and the SEC's got a meet going on,
yes,
man, it's riveting TV. But I'm so nervous. I don't care who it is. When I watch the beam and I watch the floor, I'm so nervous. I worry that those girls are going to hit their head on that beam.
Right.
They flip with no hands. Number one, and then
see it in slow motion.
Oh, it's scary.
And their eyes are on that man.
Yes.
They have to stare at the thing that's not moving.
And then they kind of land with one foot and one, but then I watch the floor, and and I know it's padded and all, but still, when they hit, I go, "Ooh, I don't want to see their leg snap."
Yeah,
I watch gymnastics in fear, and I love gymnastics. But Patrick, I always can see these girls no hands, because they'll do a somersault in the air on the beam with no hands touching the beam, and they got to hit perfect, or they're going to hit their freaking head. Scares me to death.
Well, it's really impressive how, you got to start that. Like soccer players, the best ones in the world, overseas, they started. You have to start.
Yeah.
You cannot pick up at 8 or 9 years old.
Good point.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
Gymnasts, you cannot be a superstar picking that up at 10 years old,
Yeah.
which
No,
is insane, right?
It is.
To say, oh no, you're already eliminated.
is.
You're already eliminated from contention, and you're 10 years old.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Isn't that something, man?
You're too old.
You're too old.
And
Too
listen,
late.
To Terry's point, these SEC gymnastics meets, you can't get a ticket.
You
They're
can't, I
packed.
know.
He said that.
That's why I'm like, yeah, to what Terry said yesterday. Not sure if you heard, but he was like, the WNBA is in a place right now where there's a lot of eyes on it and trying to push it. Money's behind it.
Right.
And it seems like it's, I don't know how well.
Yeah.
I know they're doing a great job in stadium attendance, but all the money comes from TV.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, this isn't sexist, but gymnastics is graceful.
Yes.
Gymnastics
Sure.
is leotards and glitter and finesse and basketball. It's a tough sport. Like everyone, Caitlin Clark, they're not picking on her. That's just what happens when they want to stop somebody. You're physical.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a lot more little girls want to watch gymnastics than possibly going to basketball. So make that thing professional.
I agree.
Because they are the pros. Gosh.
If we had we talked yesterday, I wonder if we had 8 professional gymnastics teams scattered around the country in a league, and they competed for team and individual, and they got the ungodly financial support and the ungodly media coverage that's been shoved at the WNBA.
Sure.
I think that would work.
Yeah.
Those teams can involve international players too, international athletes.
Just like American sports.
For sure.
Yeah. As we go to break, I want to throw this out, Pat. I think you'll get a kick out of this. We had the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. It ended yesterday at 6. Okay, there weren't a lot of huge deals. A lot of guys were rumored, big guys, but they didn't go. But Pat, y'all both will get a kick out of this. I think there was a trade yesterday. It was between the Chicago White Sox and the Kansas City Royals. Paul DeYoung was on the White Sox roster, and the deadline was at 6. So yesterday afternoon, 3 hours and 10 minutes, the White Sox were playing the Royals.
Okay.
Yesterday. Maybe today, too. The series may be going on, but they're playing them yesterday. So the trade deadline was 6 p.m. Earlier that afternoon, before like a 7 o'clock pitch, 3 hours and 10 minutes before the first pitch, while the trade deadline was still open, Paul DeYoung was traded from the White Sox to the Royals. So he cleaned out his locker with help from his former team, and just walked across and set up in the
They had a uniform and everything ready?
The new people, and they're good about all that. They knew it, and it comes through. So the equipment people and all. Normally,
don't tell me he played.
No, I don't think he played. He's a utility type player anyway. But normally in trades, you get traded and you're in Cincinnati and you're going to New York. So there's a flight and you'll be there. You get 2 days before.
Right.
They bagged up his stuff and he just walked across to the other locker room because
has that happened before?
It has.
You know what that guy probably said? Man, no more of that 17-game losing streak. Nonsense.
Yes, the White Sox are
17-game losing streak.
The reason I brought that up, Pat, you laughed at a story I told you, and the player is named Joel Youngblood.
Right.
And Joel Youngblood, I think, is the only guy. It might have happened before. He got 2 hits in – what was the deal? He got 2 separate clean base hits, Major League base hits, in a 24-hour period for 2 teams.
Oh, yeah, it was something like that. That's what it was.
Yeah, he got a base hit on a day game, got traded, gets on a plane, goes to wherever, lands, gets to the park for a night game. Coincidentally, he's playing a 1 o'clock game, gets a hit, gets pulled out of the game because the minute you get traded, you have to get pulled out. You're property of the other team.
Right.
So he gets a hit like a 1 o'clock getaway game, Major League Baseball, gets a hit probably at 1:30. Notified that the trade just went through, the paperwork went to MLB. He gets yanked out of the game, which is normal protocol. Gets told, he's in the dugout. Hey man, thanks, good to see you guys. Thanks for everything. He's telling his people bye. Obviously, the equipment guys are bagging up his stuff. He goes to the airport because he's property of another team. He flies. The flight was close. It might have been Philadelphia to New York or something close, right? He lands, cabs to the other park that he got traded to, gets in the locker room. Obviously, it's Major League Baseball. They've got uniforms and stuff waiting on him.
Right.
And he gets in that game that night and gets a hit. So he gets 2 hits in like 12 hours with 2 different teams in 2 different cities.
But you're saying this has happened before to where you basically walked across
I think it has happened.
To the other dugout?
It's coincidental that they are playing each other. But, yeah, he just kind of walked across.
How about that?
He just walked across. Isn't that great?
How about that?
I'm trying to imagine in any other sport. But baseball is the only sport you can do that where
right.
I feel like you can – you can trade a guy basketball-wise, but are you going to, even if they're a star, you're not going to play them right away. Baseball, because you said this, Terry, baseball is the most individual sport.
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't need to know a scheme to play third base.
Yes.
True.
Yes. You still get it and throw it to first.
Throw it to first.
Tag him out if he's coming toward you.
Pat, has this happened to Terry Norvelle before? He was with one girl at a concert,
You know, now I'm gonna be honest.
That's a good story.
And by the way,
one.
that's a rotten thing to do. But I won't tell it on the air. But
we got a story coming here, don't we?
I'm never gonna
dug something up.
Never gonna tell this all the way. And but I took that to the nth degree one time, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not proud. I'm not gonna tell you anymore. Y'all just let your mind wander.
Did he have Sex Panther on?
just let's
we need to know that.
Zach, we need to go to break. Our break schedule's
I mean, in order for him to have,
I think we need to let this breathe a little bit. This is starting to get spicy.
Sex Panther is the pheromone that Terry puts on that just makes him irresistible.
I don't know. I need my own clone.
Zach wants to know too.
I need my own clone.
Yeah, I think we all want to know.
If I had my own
nth degree.
Hey, if I had my own clone back in the day when I used to run, I don't run anymore.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell it, but it would be called. How do you spell that, dude? That could be our moneymaker right there. If we can all come out with that.
It really could.
How do you spell that?
I don't know how to do it. So,
you know what? Let's put that in chat bot thing you showed me. They'll know how to spell it, right?
I'm still waiting on the story. I want to hear the story.
No,
I think you got to use.
I'm just going to say this. It's XX rated, and that's all I'm going to say.
2X, not 3X.
Oh, back in the day, I was not proud of myself.
2 X's?
Not proud of myself. Zach, take us to break. My goodness, we got about a half hour left, I think, if they want us to come back here.
How was Dr. Bates?
Twin Peaks, wonderful. He was great.
What exciting is this story's going to be?
He didn't even ask about you. No, Brent, did he? No, he didn't ask about Patrick. He was great. It was probably the best Dr. Bates segment we've ever had. It was.
He's not agreeing with that, he's not.
All right, I don't know where we're at. It's a mess on a Wednesday, but we are at Twin Peaks. Come by, say hi today or sometime. They do a great job. Twin Peaks, our Wednesday sponsor.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This show has been everywhere in a good way. In a good way. Terry Norvelle, Brent Beard, Patrick Young, and you, Zach producing as always. Gentlemen, welcome back. We are at Twin Peaks, our Wednesday home. I wanted to get this out. We're watching some, obviously, great Olympic viewing here at Twin Peaks. Patrick, you mentioned the fencing is going on. Did you hear about the controversy? The United States, there's a big controversy going on. Suppose United States didn't medal at all. They got whooped in fencing recently, and there's a controversy. Some of the fencing people are saying the qualifying before they got here was rigged. We sent the wrong people. Supposedly the judging was rigged, and
so maybe, they're saying that's why
maybe we did because they got whooped. But here's the way I look at it: it's fencing. If there's a controversy, just get them together and have a duel. They've already got swords.
Man, those little
have a duel.
Flimsy things.
What do they call those? Well, they're not swords.
Not a sword.
Are they? I call them a sword.
A poker?
Yeah, fire poker.
I mean,
and
I
you mentioned
don't
it, Patrick.
Do that for anything.
Isn't it cool the way they score? They're electronic, right?
Yes.
And they touch them. And
yeah, I see it connects to the helmet. Okay, that's perfect time.
Yeah.
They just check to make sure it works.
But can't you, if there's a controversy, let them figure it out. Just call a duel. That's all they do.
That's all it should be.
I challenge.
I see the name is either a foil, an epee, or a saber. There you go.
Saber is way better than a foil.
And you got to do this.
I would say so. I would go with saber, yeah.
The other hand, you got the saber in one hand, and you got the other hand like the scorpion tail, right?
Let's commentate. Right. Oh, yeah, what's important? So with the other hand, the offhand.
It's like the scorpion tail.
Why does the offhand got to...
Right? Look at him.
So when it lights, that means you got hit.
Hey, you know who was You know who was good at that? The guy in Ricky Bobby. Remember him? He was a fencer, wasn't he? What was his name in the movie? I Shall Beat You, Ricky Bobby. Zach, help us out. Your movie.
Yeah. It was Borat from. I know it was Sacha Baron Cohen
Borat.
from Borat.
What was his name in the movie, Josh? What was his name in the movie?
Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre or something. I shall defeat you, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you start with the slap? Yes. I challenge you to a
duel.
Yes. Isn't that how that works?
I think that's what it was, yes.
Especially if you got two white gloves in your hand.
Oh, his name is Jean Gerard.
Jean Gerard.
Jean Gerard.
Did you guys hear the
latest? Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, he's the actor. Did you guys hear the controversy as if the UFL, the league that's just burning money, The Rock, he's behind the UFL. To hear about them, they're getting sued by the Army, for God's sake.
What?
Bad look. Yeah. Bad look.
Really
Here's the deal. The Army was a $6 million sponsor of the UFL this past season. UFL, gobs of money burnt. They're going to lose money. They always do. Terrible first season. So the Army says that the UFL guaranteed them in their advertising package. And I guess you can track and give code words and stuff, if you call in our office, give the code, and you can kind of track. So supposedly the UFL/Rock, his league, guaranteed X amount of new.
Oh, why would they do that?
What do you call when you
enlistment?
Enlistment. Well, the Army said basically the way they had built in this advertising, and they said Rock was supposed to do 5 social media hits during the season.
Okay, that makes sense.
He did 3. I don't know why he wouldn't just do 2 more. But they said the tracking apparatus, the United States Army said they were promised like X amount of enlistments for $6 million. After the season, they went back and checked it. Zero.
Oh,
Zero?
No, zero. So they're asking for their money back.
I bet they are.
What a bad look, though. If
Zero?
Isn't the Army one of the last entities you want to go up against publicly and say we're fighting? And Rock and them don't want to give them back some of their zero, Patrick. Nada.
If the contract, well, two things against them, The Rock, obviously, as you said.
Nada.
He didn't fulfill his part of the contract as far as those 2 extra posts or whatever it was. And if how can you guarantee enlistees? I don't get that.
Well,
how can you guarantee?
I don't get that either.
And it might have even been just contacts or something. You know how you can say, buy this and use code blank, blank, blank. Well, that's a way to track. Maybe they even just said, we have a way, we gave a special phone number and nobody called, to even ask about it. But anyway, if you're rocking UFL, the last thing you want is that PR nightmare, right?
No.
The Army, the United States Army, for God's sake. Ugly.
I'm bad. That sucks, man.
Ooh.
And look, if he would have just put all that money in the WNBA, or even gymnastics or whatever,
but if you're Rock, if it's true, if the contract truly said Rock agreed to do 5 social posts because he's got a huge social media.
Yes, yeah.
The article says he did 3. If you're the Rock and you guaranteed 5, why wouldn't you just knock them all out at one time?
It doesn't make sense.
Why didn't you just say, Army, give us the scripts? I'll knock them out at one time and be done with it.
He could have recorded all 5 and just posted
And they could have
them
been
at different
timely.
times. Yeah, absolutely.
They could have been graduation. Hey, what are you going to do now, high school kids? It's graduation, Anyway, bad look. Patrick, you were talking about tomorrow, and Brent, I want to cover some football with you. You're talking about the Hall of Fame game, which is a waste of time. The NFL preseason starts. But is it called the Hawkeye? We're waiting to see what the NFL is going to unveil with the first down marker they're trying to replace.
They didn't say it. The article didn't say they were going to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
For that preseason game, but are you going to watch it?
I'll watch 2 minutes if I walk.
We're going to watch people get inducted as well, right?
I think that's
point.
part of it,
that's
right?
Part of it, yeah. So they're going to start implementing the Hawkeye in some preseason games to see how well it works. And they said no later than next season, if not sooner.
I think they will be able to replace the 2 poles and the chain.
Yes.
The NFL is trying to come up with technology. And
I'm sure, but the thing is, Terry, I'm sure they're going to have those guys on reserve just in case if something goes wrong. Yeah.
You would think they got them at every game with the chains.
You've got to.
Brent, I thought it was fascinating, though. Patrick and I started uncovering this early in this year. The NFL came out and said they're trying to replace the 2 poles and a chain. It's antiquated. It's ridiculous.
It is.
That's how they do it. And they said they're working on something they're going to unveil in this preseason. We're all looking forward to that. In that same article, I'll never forget, and I've corroborated it reading the other articles, the NFL said, oh, yeah, by the way, we're the NFL. We can do what we want. It's our league. We have been experimenting the last 2 or 3 years with microchips in the footballs in real games.
Right.
I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't know the data, but obviously they're trying to work data.
Yeah, it's really cool how they're just doing a great job of always thinking forward. I wish we could be flies on the wall. And those owners,
man.
It's the owners. The owners are the ones that got to be voting on this stuff. I don't think the NFL and obviously the Players Association.
Sure.
They vote on this stuff passing. Hopefully, all to make the game better.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to believe that all the owners were on side of the first and second half interviews, though, in game.
I know. Did you hear about that?
In
They
game.
guaranteed every coach has to do a interview in every game, first or second half.
And I hate that.
I do.
Is that going to be? Is it because of advertisement? Another advertising spot?
I would imagine.
Yeah, probably.
You had some news and notes football.
Yeah. And let me say this about what you said. You know they're not going to give us the stats on what they found out the last 2 years, right? Because would that embarrass their officials?
Good point.
Great
point.
Yeah.
So we'll never see that, will we?
If those chip balls say, man, we marked the ball wrong.
Yeah.
12% or 15% or.
But I wonder what the deviation, like
Interesting.
how big is, if they're saying the stats show like full 1 and 2 yards, if it's saying like a few inches, that's
you
not.
Can live with,
you can live with that for
Yeah.
sure. Like a whole yard is.
That's
not good.
Brent, you had some college or news and notes football wise. What do you got?
Yeah, one thing that, and we're getting, and we're getting the numbers now. Now they've settled the House case, and what they figured out is they have got probably every team is going to get $21 million, right? Okay, well, they figured
as
out.
their salary cap.
Yeah, yes, as a salary cap.
Basically.
Now, the thing they figured out with doing some of the math, the men are going to get basically $135,000 a year. Now, what they've also figured out is, now, both of you would catch this real quick. The women, like for basketball, they figured out that the women would get, okay, the men $135,000, the women $35,000.
Okay.
So,
well, there's going to be screaming, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm on the other side, though. The men. Now, are we talking the big sports? I mean,
yes. So
the men are bringing in the crowds I'm sorry, it's just the way it is.
And that's the other side of that. But I think the thing look, they settled this house thing to keep from having all these lawsuits. But now, if you've got a discrepancy like that, aren't you setting up
more lawsuits?
More and more lawsuits?
Yes.
I mean, that's $100,000.
$100,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
From, which is so sad to even think about the lawsuits, from zero before.
Yes.
Point.
$0.
Good point.
And we're going to go, oh, they're getting so much more. But no, you're getting $35,000.
$35,000.
Softball player, lacrosse,
right.
Women's lacrosse player.
Basketball player, yeah.
Yes.
And a lot of them don't have 3,000 in the stands. A lot of those will
True.
have 75 people in
True.
the stands paying tickets.
Right.
Interesting.
So hold on. I got to run that. We got to run that back. So if there's 400 athletes split down the middle, 200, is it just like all male players? Because that's not even right either, because basketball, football, those are the
bring in
way more than baseball. Way more. Yeah, there's got to be a scale or a tier.
I'm still amazed.
It's still going to be a lawsuit anyway.
I'm still amazed how they decided how far back we're going with the payout.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 10 years ago, and they're getting paid. He's still mad.
There's still a chance.
He's still trying to get under.
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
There's still a chance.
Okay, one more thing that came from that is, and we wondered if this might happen, but the thing we're talking about now is they're finding out from these guys who are transferring from one school to the next that they are losing credits.
Yep.
And they're not going, they're not going to be able to graduate like they thought they would. And every time you change schools, you're losing more credits.
And I understand that because college is a business.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
You can transfer from two state schools, Florida to Florida State.
Right.
And I'm just throwing this out, and I know for a fact, you can go from two state schools in the same state, Florida State, for instance, and Florida's English Comp 101 course is not going to be the same as if they may say, well, you got to take that again because we asked for this in our curriculum, and you didn't have that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a business.
Well, it is
making business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But but if you lose a year's worth of credits,
I know. Oh my gosh! I couldn't imagine.
I mean, can you imagine having to be in another year or two just to graduate?
Because then it's like, oh my gosh! Like even sitting out transferring before the rule change, still had your credits. You still were adding more credits as you're taking classes.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine. Yeah, you can transfer, but everything that you did academically is gone.
Exactly,
it's gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, guys, let's take a quick break. Come back. We'll have a minute or two to wrap the show. We got on schedule, but man, what a fun show it has been on a Wednesday. Patrick Young, Brent Beer, Terry Norvelle, and you wrapping things up on the other side.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Okay, folks, final segment here. We're kind of putting it to bed. It's been a fun one. We've been all over the place here on a Wednesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show from our Wednesday home. You know it by now.
Hump
Twin
Day.
Peaks. Hump Day.
That's right.
What a great place to spend Hump Day. If you got to spend it anywhere, spend it here. Tomorrow, where are we at?
Sliders Oyster Bar.
Sliders Oyster Bar.
Neptune Beach.
Brent Beard.
Love Sliders.
Go over real quick.
Terry doesn't.
Got about 4 minutes left. Our local teams, we knew FSU was already practicing, right? Because they play early.
Yes.
They're a week into it. Our local guys get going today, tomorrow. What's going on?
Yeah. The Gators in Miami, since they play each other, they started today. Georgia starts tomorrow. By the end of the weekend, pretty much everybody in the ACC and the SEC will be playing. And again, there's no, just say you started today. And you don't, and then the Team X is starting to Friday. That's no advantage because as you and I have talked for years. Yeah. Everybody's got 29 practices
that you get in.
Yes, yeah, and it's up to you whenever you want to do it.
I think it's like 25 practices over 30 something days.
And now the important thing is by next weekend, not this weekend. Next weekend they'll start having scrimmages.
Okay,
they basically got 2.
Oh, I pray that we don't get the. What we're seeing in the NFL with the injuries. All right. Man,
you can't avoid it. Yeah, it's just you can't have 3 hard weeks of practice with these numbers.
It's really hard
without people getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's just part of it. And some years, man, the sports gods, man, they don't smile on teams, and they do smile. Some years,
that's right.
You'll have one team. You guys have seen it. These next 3 weeks, they'll have 2 or 3 ACLs, 3 or 4, a couple Achilles. You're like, damn.
When you played, did y'all lose very many guys in the preseason camp? Do you remember?
No.
Yeah.
Good.
We never did.
Good. Okay.
If a guy maybe got hurt, they were out for a day or two.
Yeah.
That was it, but it was never anything that kept somebody out for, unless they had like guys that like Will You Get, he had a knee injury from the previous season. He was eased into.
Yeah, okay.
But other than that,
But yeah, I was serious when I lay off with one of our topics today. We're out of here in 2 minutes. We won't get to it, but I wonder how much longer. And the NFL preseason's going away anyway.
Yes.
They're down to 3 games. They'll be down to 2 games.
Right.
And nobody plays. None of the starters play. I wonder how long we are from the NFL's it's a classroom training camp.
Sure.
You just can't afford to lose superstars
yeah.
in fake football. If you lose them week 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, those are real games. I can live with that.
Yeah.
You can't afford to have your $1 million guys dropping like flies. They already know how to play football.
Yeah.
I mean, you can almost have training
like Joe
camp.
Burrow was a non-contact injury last year.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad at that. It was just his calf.
No.
But the contact ones, man, you're without a doubt. How hard do these guys need to drill and learn how to tackle and simulate
correct.
without the pads as best you can, and that's I think that'll help give these guys a little more years, potentially as well.
Well, and guys, you also wonder with the NFL that they're at 18 now, as Terry said. How long before they're at 20?
I think 18 is going to max them out. I don't think they're going to go any. They don't have anything else they can trade out. I think 18 is all they're going.
I mean, at some point.
Oh, it's a sport we lost in.
I think it's
shooting.
Yeah,
clay shooting is in the Olympics.
How do we not do good in rifle shooting?
Really?
All right, I want to hold on, guys. I want to apologize. I know we're having some audio issues here at the end. We're getting some messages. We'll work on that. Have it corrected by tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, we're down at the beach. Sliders Oyster Bar, our Thursday location. That'll just about wrap it up, guys. Good job.
Fun show.
Spurriers on August 12th. Be there or be square.
Yes, a week from this coming Monday, we're doing the show live at Spurriers for the 3rd anniversary party. Tickets available. Reach out to me. I will hook you up. That'll do it for that guy, Patrick Young, this guy, Brent Beard, and the sweet, innocent guy of the show. I'm Terry Norvelle. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Sliders.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.